Hey there, Delight here. Here I am this morning ready for a cup of creative. My cup today, my ever-present mug. This one, I don't know how well you can see it. I'll tip it a little bit. It's got two crossed arrows on it and an M and a T. And on the other side it has a heart and it has Montana love. My son takes his sweet bride every year on their anniversary on a honeymoon. This was their 15th year that they've done this, and they brought me a mug for a souvenir, and I love, you know me and my mug, so I'm really happy about this because now it will remind me of my son and his bride. Today, I was thinking about the things that I do when I don't have much to work with, and also with the upcycling, which is one of my favorite things to do. I do a lot of things with brown paper bags. I just love brown paper bags, and it's one of the things that I use for a lot, especially for embellishments, although I do use it for the substrate and a lot of things too. I have been working on making some tags, getting ready to do a bunch of journals, and I've been working on the embellishments for them. A lot of the tags and things I do with upcycled materials, like chipboard boxes, like this was, of course, for envelopes, and the Belvita biscuit breakfast biscuits. I love those things. I use them for my tags and things. This is one of the tags that I made actually out of one of these, and it writes real nice. The inside of these are white and they're not glossy, so you can write real well, so you don't have to put something on the back if you don't want to, and I didn't in this case. In the front I just used a brown paper bag for the background, and then just did some fabric that I had torn and fussy cut stuff, a little bit of text from a Christmas Carol book, and some green eyelash yarn. One of my favorite fibers to use is the eyelash yarn. I just love how it has a little bit of something going on, but it's not too bad, and I can trim it when I need to. So things like this you can make, and there's practically no expense. This is all like almost nothing. So it's a good way to have lots of things to fill up your journals when you're trying to watch, because you can really get a lot in a journal just in your embellishments, and if you're going to try to sell them or give a whole bunch of them away, it can be pretty expensive. So I thought today I would talk about brown paper sacks, and there's so much you can do with them. I won't do all the things I do with them in one because I couldn't do it, but you can use it as a material to do other things. Some of them are really nice and sturdy, and you don't really have to have more than a couple of layers to have it firm enough to do a tag. But I also use it as a base. In this case, I used it as a base to do some paper weaving. All I did was took some brown paper grocery sacks. Actually, the green ones are the design on the Whole Foods sacks, and the red are the designs on the Trader Joe's sacks. And so since I have been working on Christmas so much, that was, of course, a perfect thing for me to use. And so that's what I did. I cut them into half-inch strips, and I wove them. I just have a piece plain on the back, and I just did some basic paper weaving like the kids do in grade school, and it will make a nice place for collage or anything that you want to do. Another thing that I frequently do to prepare some, especially for collage background tags, are this is a piece of the box for the envelopes. So I probably will put something on the back of it, but as you can see, I've just glued brown paper sack on, and all I did was take the brown paper sack and scrunch it all up like that. Several times. I just opened it up, closed it back up, scrunched it, and got more and more wrinkles in it. And then I just took a plain piece of brown paper and put lots and lots of tacky glue on it, and put this on and glued it down, and I put it on there, and then I put it in a piece of wax paper and just fold it over to keep it glue from coming out, and then I put it under a heavy book, and I just set them aside and let it for, like I usually do it overnight. And when it comes out, it's nice. It's down in the, and the all the wrinkles are still in there, but they're flat. And then I just take Tim Holtz Distress Inks and just go over the top, and I have a nice substrate for anything that I want to use. I could use this for the cover on a book. I could use it for the back of a tag, just about anything. So I thought I'd show you a couple of the things that I do with the brown paper bags. This one is just, you don't have to do a lot. I mean, this is how I start with them. It's a piece of recycle. Got a little tag on, and I put this on, and you could use this for journaling. I'll probably put a collage on here. This one is actually 2 layers of the brown paper sack glued together. In this case, I put some ledger paper cutoffs on the front, something to journal on the back, and it actually makes the tag. And sometimes you need a real skinny tag. If a pocket doesn't have any expansion to it and is quite close, you can't get a lot in. I also use the brown paper bag, just fold the edges over to make the edge that will be exposed to the wear and tear a little thicker, but I just use it as the back, put a page from A Christmas Carol on the front. I stamped on the brown paper bag just a whole bunch of stamps, and then just cut them out and have some fabric and a little bit of junk paper and a little bit of raffia left over, just using up odds and ends, and this will make a nice pocket. I don't know, they're all glued in this way, or you could slip it in, whatever you want to do. This one is one of the double pocket flips that has the, you can use it, this is a pocket down here, and then you can open it up, and again, it's literally just the brown paper sack, and I just embellished it with some leftover paper doilies that I used Tim Holtz Distress Ink on, and leftovers, a little piece of fabric, and made myself a nice embellishment for the Christmas journals I'm working on. You can use them for those, and you also can use them to make little pamphlets. They work out real well. This one this is one that I just stapled, and I just used one layer, the brown paper bag for the front, put cutoffs left over in the middle, and again I used my little eyelash yarn. I had it left over in a little tiny weeny piece of the brown paper bag, and I just made 2 holes and ran it through and then glued them together to make like a little bookmark. And so you could do this big or small for always have a lot of little tiny journals inside of my junk journal, so I make a lot of these kind of things. Usually sometimes I staple them. Usually I sew them. These are ready for me to sew. And again, it's just cut-offs of the things that I used. This one is a piece of brown paper bag that I did the whole thing. I Mod Podged tissue paper from a pattern on it, and I'll just sew that. That'll be one. This is another one I'll sew. This one I just collaged all kinds of pieces that I had left when I was working with A Christmas Carol book, again for my Christmas journals, and I'll just sew it up, and it will make a nice. I may put something on the front, I may not, I don't know, but it just makes a nice way. It makes a nice extra resource for you, especially sometimes you feel like working and you don't have anything and you don't want to go to the craft store. So when you're doing that, be sure you think about brown paper sacks. It's good to recycle, less for in the landfill, and sometimes it just does your creative brain good to challenge you to do something with what you have instead of going and buying some more stuff. So sometimes your Cuppa Creative needs to be challenged, and this is one of the things that might do it. So give her a try. Enough said.